in me, particularly at this point, is very welcome. But I do have to say that the considerations of the party sometimes are completely different, and the conditions that require decisions like these to be made are not often commensurate with what we want or desire or expect. So I'll have to leave it at that. But fact of the matter is that it's probably more endemic. It's not just. It's obviously not about one candidate. It's about the way we have approached this. I think it's a larger issue.
No, you made it about one candidate.
If you look at the trends,
made it about one candidate. You made it about Kiran Bedi. You drafted her in 3 weeks before the poll because you said she's the only one qualified to take your party across the halfway mark.
And Rahul,
you made it about one person.
Rahul, every spokesperson
if the Congress made it about Modi, you made it about Bedi.
Every spokesperson of the BJP said that the party is fully enthusiastic.
Yes.
Cadres are working.
She's trailing.
When some of us used to say that the cadre is not happy, that they're not happy with Kiran Bedi, every spokesperson says this is wrong.
There's a story there, absolutely.
No, the point is
propaganda of the media.
No, that basic
blaming the media for it.
So we got it right, and the leadership of the BJP got it wrong.
One question to Mr. Kaul.
Yes,
Mr. Kaul, this is not a defeat for BJP. It's a decimation of the traditional national parties like BJP and Congress. But my question is that don't you think that the campaign by people like Sadhvi Parachi and Sakshi Maharaj, others, the Hindutva campaign which was going on instead of the development campaign which got you the victory in Lok Sabha, is also responsible for this defeat, because people of India, not just the minorities, but people of India do not like this kind of negative social campaigning based on religion and caste.
and it's the middle class that's walked away.
Quite right.
It's every class which has walked away. It's just to say that it is Congress vote which has shifted. It's a very superfluous argument. Every class, people from every group of people have walked away from BJP.
Cynical, divisive politics rejected.
Was there, they would have
Mr.
got 31 seats.
Mr. Kaul, you need to respond there. Cynical, divisive politics rejected. Your party threw 5 questions a day at Kejriwal, rejected. The middle class walked away from you. The messiah of the middle class, neo-middle class is Mr. Modi. Today it's Mr. Kejriwal.
But like you said, because it was a broad-based movement away from the BJP, going by what your analysis is, and I have no reason to disagree with it, as the trends are indicating, it would also mean that no one factor or no specific factor could possibly be enough. So I think there is a host of issues that we need to look at.
Well, let Shazia stay on with me. Shazia and me commenting. Let's get another view from the BJP. Recently crossed over to the BJP.
No, I don't think so. I think a lot needs to be done to prove themselves, and every government needs a time. So if people have gotten disenchanted where Modi is concerned and are voting for AAP, will now know how difficult it will be for them to deliver all that they have promised. So I don't think it's a referendum on Modi ji at all. But yes, the party collectively will take responsibility or credit for victory or defeat.
हम क्या कहेंगे अर्ली ट्रेंड्स आ रहे हैं इस पे?
जी, अर्ली ट्रेंड्स में आप आगे हैं और हम ये देख रहे हैं, और देखिए क्या होता है, और अगर आप जीतती है तो गुड लक टू देम, और उनका अभी काम शुरू होता है. बस जीत तो पहला एक कदम होता है, उसके बाद सारे के सारे काम पर डिलीवरी प्रॉमिस जो उन्होंने किए हैं, बड़े बड़े वादे, तो वादे उन्होंने बहुत से कर दिए हैं, लेकिन वो चाहते हैं कि वादों की पूर्ति नरेंद्र मोदी जी करें. ये गलत है. वादे खुद अरविंद केजरीवाल ने करे हैं और वादों को वही पूरा करेंगे. हम इसको एक कलेक्टिव जिम्मेदारी मानते हैं सबकी. अगर अब बीजेपी जीतती है तो ये पूरा क्रेडिट है नरेंद्र मोदी जी से लेकर एक एक कार्यकर्ता का, और अगर बीजेपी पीछे रहती है या हारती है या नंबर 2 पोजीशन पे रहती है तो उसके लिए पूरी जिम्मेदारी कलेक्टिवली सामूहिक तौर पर हम लेंगे.
Responsibility, collective responsibility, sounding like the Congress is the Bharatiya Janata Party today. Veer Sanghvi, look, are we overemphasizing this defeat for the Bharatiya Janata Party? It's a decimation. One understands that. Look at this, Central Delhi, 17 of those seats out of 20 going straight into the into the Aam Aadmi Party's kitty. You look at this, out of Delhi, 27, the Jats, the urban poor, the rural poor, all deserting the Bharatiya Janata Party. Is it no longer the party of aspirations, or are we reading too much into a very local event?
Well, Rahul, I want to make one comment, Rahul.
Yeah.
That now what we are seeing is that BJP is in the position Congress was, and Congress is in the position BSP was. Correct. So now it's a situation where BJP has
really slipped. Okay. Veer Sanghvi, sorry, I was asking you a straightforward question.
Several ways in which you can look at it.
The first is the most important one, is that the aura that Amit Shah and Modi had projected, one of invincibility, is gone. They are now looking just like anybody else. Perhaps they'll win some elections, perhaps they'll win Bihar, perhaps they won't. But the sense that there was this Modi juggernaut that steamrollered everybody, that's gone. Nobody's frightened of them. Nobody thinks they're invincible any longer. Secondly, the Amit Shah strategy was as follows. You went into states where there had been a Congress government or a non-BJP government. You campaigned against anti-incumbency. You promised the kind of governance that Modi had given in the parliamentary elections. You paid no attention to the local unit, you won, and then you imposed your own chief minister. They tried exactly that same approach in Delhi. It didn't work because there was no anti-incumbency for them to protest. There'd been governors ruled for a long time. The local unit, unlike other units, was so upset at being sidelined that if you spoke to any BJP worker, it was clear who they thought the real enemy was. It wasn't Arvind Kejriwal, it was Kiran Bedi.
Okay. Mr. Kaul, a reaction to that. The real enemy was Kiran Bedi. That's why she's trailing. Yeah. The RSS was not on board. Your party is divided. They resented the fact that you couldn't find one candidate from within the party's rich ranks of immensely talented leaders to contest this election. You had to import leaders. Shazia Ilmi, Kiran Bedi. Who's responsible for this decision? Don't tell me it was collective. We all know. We all know.
Well, let's put it like this, no decision is obviously, it's not any one person's decision, that has to be said. But at the same time, there is agreement that there has to be agreement before any decision is taken. And at the same time, there is somebody who initiates, and you choose a particular strategy, you choose particular tactics over others. So yes, there was a selection, and that whoever is responsible at whatever levels will obviously have to ask, analyze, answer for these. But like I said, that's a natural process that follows defeat. And if you are not, that is if you intend to learn from it. And if you are not, then we are probably going to repeat it forever. So having said that, and having agreed that there was resentment, there would have been all these factors would come into play. But the large-scale movement against the BJP or away from the BJP is indicative of even deeper issues, I would say. So rather than just keep it superficial and say that it was the last-minute changes at the top that made it so, I would believe
deeper
that
issues.
Would not be accurate.
Deeper issues.
I would think
it's
so.
It's almost sounding conspiratorial. There, Mr. Kaul, I want to bring in Mr. Pankaj Vora. Mr. Pankaj Vora, deeper issues. What do you think these deeper issues are? Are we going to suddenly see all those people who were closeted in the Bharatiya Janata Party and were forced into a bit of a corner, now coming out and speaking? What is this sort of, what is he referring to?
Well, Veer had summed it up very well, but to add to what he had said, I like to emphasize that the over-campaigning by the BJP also, led to some sort of a disillusionment amongst the people of Delhi. There were outsiders who were campaigning, who had no connection with the grassroots, and the local workers were, staying away from the elections. They would confide privately that they were there in meetings just to show their face, but actually they were not working at all. Number two, the Modi fatigue had set in. As a matter of fact, President Obama's visit, which, the BJP had thought they would be able to cash, proved to be, counterproductive. And, everyone started looking at the government as a treadmill government, which was not moving forward, but staying in the same place.
You're privy to information on how Kiran Bedi was projected, who's behind it. I'm coming to just hold your thoughts. I just want to quickly take our viewers through what it's looking like. The macro picture first. Look at this. Sea of blue drowns out Delhi. Two little islands of saffron, maybe 4 islands or 5 islands of saffron. Some in the heart of Delhi. One just disappeared right under my finger. Just disappeared there. Anyhow, up at 62. These leads could change. I'm not denying it. 62, overwhelming. It's an overwhelming mandate. Let's look at, if you really look at the way the party graphs have soared and others have tanked. Look at this. This is the saffron graph. 93-49, 98-15, 20-23. These are the Sheila Dikshit years. Middle overs for Delhi. Sheila Dikshit years. This is where Sheila Dikshit was really in her ascendant. 23-20-15 is where the BJP found itself. There were only two principal parties here, the Congress and the BJP. That's it, 52, 47, 43. was how Sheila Dikshit was sort of, how strong her hold was. That's the Congress and the BJP. In 2013 comes the Aam Aadmi Party, immediate change. The Congress's fortunes plummet to 8, the BJP rises a bit to 31, the Aam Aadmi Party comes in, bolt from the blue, quite literally, bolt from the blue. But look what happens, 13 months later, look at where the graph is. It's at 62 as of now. This is the Aam Aadmi Party's trajectory, up and up. And the BJP diametrically opposite. The Congress, well, the Congress is now irrelevant almost. It's at the baseline. It's at the baseline of this curve graph. It's not even registering at this moment on the scale. That's the scale, that's the story of this election. Congress out, no longer the third alternative, no longer even the second or the fourth alternative. It's out of the picture in the union capital. A new hope is rising. It's the Aam Aadmi Party's Kejriwal. Whether he can translate this nationally remains to be seen, but at least in Delhi, which some people say capture the mood of the nation, here we are at. This will be a huge alarm bell for the Bharatiya Janata Party in the NDA. It's their first incumbency election, incumbency test. Let's have a look at the regions. Here is the region. This is where the election was won and lost. Even central Delhi, the middle and neo-middle class bastions, a little bit of urban poor, but predominantly middle class neighborhoods, deserted the Bharatiya Janata Party. This is going to have an impact on the reforms agenda of the Bharatiya Janata Party, its economic outlook. Parliament session going to be beginning very, very soon. It's going to be the budget session. Look at the swing. The swing is the story. Look at the swing. The Aam Aadmi Party up 34. This is sweet. We're talking about seats here. Just talk a little bit about this.
Well, clearly, Aam Aadmi Party is swinging more seats than it had actually won in 2013. So this is huge. So they're gaining.
So this you can't say is just a Congress vote coming to the Aam Aadmi Party as a BJP has been
Qualitatively, this performance is at a very different level than a mere transfer of votes from Congress. So this is something significantly different.
Okay.
BJP getting decimated to just about 8 seats. That is
Pankaj Vora wants to add. We'll keep the focus on this. Pankaj Vora wants to add.
It is very significant that some of the seats BJP had never lost earlier, they are losing. You know, in Janakpuri, Jagdish Mukhi, who has been elected 5 times as a MLA, 2 times as a Metropolitan Councillor, is trailing. You know, in Krishna Nagar, Harshvardhan had won it 5 times. It appears that Kiran Bedi is trailing. Moti Nagar, which was Madanlal Khurana's seat, it appears Subhash Sachdeva is trailing. Rajendra Nagar, which was won by the Congress only once in 2008 by Ramakant Goswami because of the demise of the BJP candidate that time. You know, BJP is again, you know, losing and Aam Aadmi Party is unexpectedly winning. So these are, you know, very, very alarming signs for the BJP.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting.
Also, some of these areas where Prime Minister Modi had also held his rallies.
Yeah.
Very shocking. Even those areas are going away from BJP.
See, Rahul, I'd like to make the point that this is Delhi is a city. The BJP came to power in large part because almost all the cities of India went for BJP. Yeah, almost all the big cities went for the BJP in big time. Now, look, there is a kind of a commonality between cities in India. If this is the trend in Delhi, there must be partly the trend in Mumbai and other
Is that worrying you,
Sanjay
Kaul? Very true. Yeah. Urban India connecting differently. I'm coming to you, Shiv Vishwanathan. Is that worrying you, sir? Urban India? This is the heart of urban India. Sanjay Kaul.
No, Rahul, I don't think I'd go that far for the simple reason that that Delhi has always been different and unique. It's a state, but it's a city. And it's an urban center completely and almost 100% urban. But I do not believe that this has manifestations of the kind that you are suggesting, for the simple reason that we have had elections before this and we'll have elections after this. And the issues are all going to be completely different. What it does tell you is that that many of the issues that were local and that needed to be handled locally need not have been probably superimposed at a national or to be made into a national issues. Could possibly have been one of the issues, one of the things that we should have looked at. But anyway, like I said, there'll be a lot of things to discuss, think about, and probably go back to the drawing board. I think this is almost a purge, and we need to seriously look at that, and there's no doubt that the party will sit and talk about it.
It's a purge. Shahid Siddiqui, Mr. Vishwanath, Shiv Vishwanathan first. Shiv Vishwanathan, he's been raising his hand. Yes, Shiv Vishwanathan.
Look, I think there's too much emphasis on the party.
I have to leave now.
I think what we have to understand is the dynamics of the city. This is a city which rejected the BJP.
Okay.
Because the old categories don't work. The middle class seceded from its middle class stereotyped attitudes. And I think till we look at the dynamics of the city, we won't understand what happened. Party clutching won't do here.
A city which en bloc went with BJP just months ago.
This is also a different city that's partially